Hello and welcome and hello. It is me, it is I, it is your chunky stock monkey, your man with the plan. It's Danny Deals, it's Un Poco Moss on behalf of Hurricane Lopez, Stock Karen, the average white Dan, not a lurker, J Money, Alberto Bertie Aviles. We would like to thank you for joining us on the program today, guys. We are talking SOFI Technologies Incorporated, ticker symbol SOFI. Don't want to waste too much time with my usual bullshit today. Stock moving up nicely. Dropped all the way down to $6.88 there shortly after the open, as it's wont to do. Traded sideways there. We're seeing accumulation. They're trying to accumulate as low as possible, but stock's about to break down the 50-day moving average, and I think it's just about to make a huge move to the upside. Some of these companies, I know Hood had a really good print. Some of these companies, Hood, Palantir, many others in terms of growth stocks, hot stocks. They've made huge moves to the upside and are just dramatically overvalued vis-a-vis SoFi. I was taking a look at Palantir, and I know it's an exciting company. I know AI is everything right now, and Nvidia is worth $3 trillion because apparently nobody else can make these chips, which I don't know. I think other companies are going to catch up. I don't think anyone can leave those type of margins to one company on the table. It's not magic beans, it's chips, and I think other people will figure it out. But if you look at the forward sales multiples of a company like Palantir, and then you look at their growth rate, you look at what their margins are actually going to be, people are not realistic about the costs of outside sales structures and what all that involves, and they think Palantir is going to be making these insane margins. I would argue that SoFi is actually going to be making better than 20% margins. I think people are completely missing the boat in terms of what that technology company Galileo is actually going to do. I think people have the arguments backwards. I remember the guy Tanner was back and forth with on those two interviews, Gary, who was basically the old school value investors. I don't invest in growth stocks. I don't know what technology is. And one of the points he and many other people were making is a lot of them use Capital One because I guess the prior year they'd made a big technology investment. But they're like, hey, Capital One is spending $2.5 billion per year on technology, to modernize. And I guess the point is that's bad for Galileo, and I take it completely the opposite way. It's like, why are they spending these billions of dollars? And imagine what all these other smaller companies are going to have to spend if they were to do all this in-house. It doesn't make any sense. You're going to outsource all this stuff. It's much more cost-effective. It's much faster, and they're going to outsource it to companies like Galileo. And I was looking at the synergies SoFi has. People are like, hey, SoFi is just a bank. It's just a lender. It's just a broker. It has no USP. It's just software. They're not even going to be able to sell the software. Nobody wants it. They make two arguments that it's kind of what they always do with SoFi. Whatever way the wind is blowing, that's bad for SoFi. They're like, hey, companies are making huge investments in technology inside of banking and financial services. That's bad for SoFi because they're doing it in-house. You could just as easily take that the other way and say there's tons and tons of money flowing into exactly what Galileo does, and if they can do it more cost-effective, even for some of these large, mid-size, smaller companies that come to the table with customers, that's going to be a huge business. I really think if everything goes to plan, Galileo could actually be bigger than SoFi, the lender, the bank side. I mean, Galileo could be a monster. And they can implement AI. They're already doing it. It just doesn't get these buzzwords. Everybody's decided, hey, at first, it's a meme stock. It's a terrible, and now it's just a bank. It's so boring. It's this boring growth. It's this boring increasing EBITDA. It's these boring margins that they're delivering. It's this boring, perfect execution on their business model that they came up with on the fly when the government and the COVID was trying to kill the business. It's great management. It's just that boring, steady, great management, great leadership. Not financial advice, guys. Buy SoFi for the cure. It'll cure what ails you, your financial blues. So anyway, guys, I'm just saying there's a lot of ways you can look at things, and it's all about shaping the narrative. Recently, they've wanted everyone to believe SoFi's worth less than 7, and even some of the U-turders, a lot of the talking heads, the analysts, they're coming out saying, hey, the stock's a hold. We just had BTIG came out and pretend that they just started rating the stock, even though last year this guy Lance Jesserun from BTIG put a strong buy on the stock and had, I think, a 16 target, then a $14 price target. So they kind of wiped him off the map, did the old, Men in Black blast your memory, and then they came out with this new guy, and they're like, it's a hold, there's no price target, it's an anonymous source. So, the whole thing makes no sense, but it's not supposed to. It's just, unknown analyst, BTIG hold, assigned. And it's like, hey, what happened to that soul patch douche Lance Jesserun who was pumping the stock so his, former colleague at BTIG who moved over to Compass Point, the 5-headed bologna sandwich Beaker, then he could, a couple weeks later rate the stock $4 and a sell. So the whole thing's just, obviously crooked. It's obviously there to create a narrative. You don't have to follow it. In fact, do the opposite of what they want you to do. Do the opposite. Go oppie. If you got a real fastball pitcher, choke up and go oppie. Take what they give you. Take what the defense gives you. If the DBs and safeties are dropping back, go underneath. Take that 10-yard gain over the middle of the field. How's it going, guys? Welcome and hello and welcome. So there's a few things I wanted to talk about. Obviously, Deadliest Catch Chris, you know him as Data Driven Investing. The guy has a Substack. I implemented a Substack. I once, I think I did I believe it was a Big Kahuna cheesesteak and followed it up with a Subway Club. So that was a Substack. They did a giant and then a foot long. So I believe it was a total of 30 inches of sub, which is a big lunch. It is a big lunch, but it's a lot of meat. I got double meat. I didn't go triple meat. Keeping it responsible. No extra cheese on that. I mean, double cheese. Okay, there was extra cheese on there, but I had cut down on the veggies. No mayo, just because I don't like it. Americans always eating their mayo. The only thing more disgusting is all of us eating that ranch dressing. But anyway, guys, welcome and hello and welcome. I know I'm rambling. It's a Monday. Everybody has too much to do. I was hoping to get on a couple hours ago, but I wanted to talk about, Deadliest Catch Chris. Of course, we met in the late 70s on the Bering Sea. We were fishing for crab. I was coming out of a clinic in Zurich. Everybody who fishes, for crab, they're trying to make money, but they're trying to get away. I was in a clinic for a nasty addiction to Hostess cupcakes, and I believe Chris had broken out of prison in New Mexico. So we met fishing for crab on the Bering Sea. Captain Jorn Tugmanson. We fished for opies. We fished for king crab. We fished for blues. We fished for bear dye crab, all of that. He was a great fisherman, but is an even better stock analyst. So he was talking to Roaring Kitty. Of course, I am Whimpering Puppy, Whispering Puppy, Whimpering Puppy. I'm all over the place. But so he was talking to, of course, Keith Gill, the great Keith Gill, who posts pictures online and moves markets and all that stuff. But Keith Gill will never read this, but Roaring Kitty wants to make some money. Here's what he should do. Instead of investing in GME, he's basically making the case why it makes so much sense to go after SoFi. And I'll make sort of these points over here on my whiteboard a little bit later, but in any case, so he goes through it. SoFi already has a massive retail following. They're about 180 million shares sold short. 17% of the float, giving it, somewhat of a potential to squeeze, not extremely high potential. Apart from the fact that SoFi is more undervalued from a price to book standpoint, is actually growing both revenue and net income. So that's very unique for a meme SPAC stock. It's actually a really, really good company. Doing quite well in terms of performance, execution, growth, all of those metrics. The most important fundamental reason of all, and this is really critical, raising capital for GME saves them from bankruptcy, but doesn't really help the core business. And that business is not going anywhere. It's a dinosaur. It doesn't really do anything. It doesn't matter what they do. Their business operations are never really going to make any money. It's all sort of a... you don't want to say like a Ponzi scheme, but it's all being pushed by, momentum traders and stuff. So it is what it is. But Let's say a squeeze occurs and the share price jumps to $40 a share, approximately the same percentage as the recent GME move, 10 to 60. SoFi could use their 1.1 billion shelf offering to raise that money with about 2.5% dilution. Because of the way banks work, 1.1 billion extra capital would give them the ability to loan out 7.5 billion in loans. And remember, while he's saying this, that, we are expecting rate cuts, maybe not now. I know certain numbers have been a little bit hot, but definitely late this year, next year, they're going to slow the economy down enough, and they're going to do rate cuts. So thinking about this massive excess lending capacity at, lower costs, this is not like their warehouse facility. This would be, money they'd have in-house. So 7.5 billion in extra lending capacity would just be absolutely huge. That's a couple of quarters worth of loans that they could tack on to any other loans they'd be doing. And that's when student loans would be exploding. Home loan, I know they probably aren't going to hold their own home loans, but home loans would be exploding. They could go into personal loans, let people consolidate this massive credit card bomb that the nation's facing. So they'd completely blow all analysts' expectations out of the water, and would set the stage for a huge outperformance for revenue and EPS for years to come. It would be 2.5% dilution for probably 10 to 20% EPS lift in perpetuity. I mean, and nobody in the world wouldn't make that trade, guys. That's like, you're sacrificing a pawn, getting the other, person's queen. It's that type of exchange. So anyone would do that. Nobody really has much of a clue what Ryan Cohen is planning on doing with the cash they raised. Everybody knows exactly what Anthony Noto would do with it, and the results would be stellar for investors. These thoughts are mostly just 3 a.m. delusions of grandeur after being woken by my kids, but it seriously makes a ton of sense. So this is just an appeal. Like, I think it's just more to get it out there. I don't think, Keith Gill, for whatever reason, he loves AMC. I think I don't know. People have speculated that he's definitely much more of an insider, much more of sort of the smart money. He controls a hell of a lot of shares, a hell of a lot of capital. And I think he likes, that leverage he has over AMC, how dependent they are on him. He can, create these spikes, and then they have to issue shares. They have to raise money. He knows how all that's going to reverberate through the market. He knows what kind of bets, when he makes these massive options bets, he knows what kind of, bets the counterparties will have to make to balance that out so they don't get cleaned out. It's just, he knows where these chess pieces move, and he knows how his opponent has to react, and he uses those market mechanics to manipulate things. And he came back out, and good for him. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't think Deadliest Catch Chris necessarily thinks he's going to actually start pushing on SoFi, but I think writing this open letter to Keith Gill, Roaring Kitty, is a great way to sort of make the case that SoFi is not only this retail, darling, this favorite, this meme stock, this shorted stock, but it's also a really good company, and it's growing, and it's one of the only companies that's sort of in that position of, having been in that meme stock SPAC sort of stew and having all that stink on it and being able to come out the other side. It was like, it's like Morgan Freeman and Andy Dufresne came out the other side of that sewage, and he was still not married to Susan Sarandon. It's like, I don't know, whatever it is, Shawshank Redemption humor. That Family Guy was excellent on that. Many cartoons have done that bit. But in any case, let me get you guys a couple of checks. In terms of Max Payne, $7 again, but there's absolutely nothing pushing down. There's no puts, no calls, really down below 7. In terms of volume, you see absolutely nothing below 7, and just extremely small amount of puts. In terms of the live short interest, it's coming up here, guys. Internet's a little bit slow today. So you saw them returning some shares on loan, but the live short short interest itself not really moving. Cost to borrow is actually up a little bit. It used to be negative. Average near 1 is actually a little bit high for the SoFi stock. Looks like last Friday they were borrowing a few shares, return after hours. Today, basically just completely flat, and tons of shares available. It's been a little bit tighter than that. So the bottom line is, guys, it looks like a couple of things are happening at once. It looks like, I don't know what's going on with Fintel. This has been down. But It looks like the shorts are letting go. Again, last Friday, we saw the aggregate short volume ratio below 30. Haven't seen that since I can't remember when. Day before that was 39, 40. So going down and down. And then on the other side of the coin, you see institutional ownership actually going up. Slowly but surely. Now, it doesn't look like it's spiking because, with the dilution from these last deals and then from stock-based compensation and such, even though, sorry, it's not, Fintel's been real funky. I don't know what's going on, but it hasn't been loading. But anyway, let me go just run you through my SOFI notes really quick. But I just think it's great that a guy like data-driven investing, who's really a numbers guy, really plays it straight up and is like evidence-based, database. I like the interplay, acknowledging that there is this huge retail interest in the stock and that if the appropriate forces were brought to bear, again, I'm a guy who likes to follow all the laws, all the rules, definitely not financial advice, not telling anyone to do anything. This is about as uncoordinated as any programming could possibly get. But, sorry guys, haven't taken a look at your comments. Don't know if anybody's watching. It looks like 60 people watching. Anyway, guys, welcome and hello and welcome. It's Poco Moss. I just wanted to, I don't know why I put in the title, like, why are so many U-turders who do fintech Canadian? But I just, it's just a question I've had, like, why do they, because I don't see any other, like, group of Canadian people focusing in on one area like I do, fintech. So it's just interesting. Like, Canadians fascinate me. But anyway, guys, don't sub and like whatever you do. What's up, BZ? What's up, Tiff? How you doing? Welcome and hello. Bobby Joe, how's it going, Bobby Joe? SJ, Jason Laws here. Welcome and hello, Jason. Mustang Rider, welcome back. Good to see you once again, Mustang Rider, coming out of Nashville. Benji, what's going on, Benji? Hello and welcome, Ukeko. What's going on, Ukeko? Premium of the option is here. It's still fly for me, doing pretty good today. Up 7 cents, $7.05 on very moderate volume. Just no sellers. The difference is, guys, today and any other day is, the market's up a little bit, but that doesn't matter for SoFi. They're just not shorting the stock. I mean, the shorts see institutions coming in. I think they know that Q2, the company is not falling apart at all. Q2 is going to be over, in a couple of weeks. You have you have Chris Lapointe speaking this week. He's probably going to reaffirm everything, if not, hopefully give some a little bit more encouraging news, give us some more insight into Galileo. Just give us some more clarity. Take away some of the questions. Take away some, and that Chris Lapointe met with not only the Deutsche Bank guy, but he also met with Touchdown Danny Dolev from Mizuho. So they spend the whole day and they go really in depth into the company. And they both left, saying, okay, this stock is worth 11 or 12 bucks. So these are the people that do their homework. These are the people that get down to the nitty gritty with management. Is that Seth Rogen? I hope you don't mean me. Thank you, Bobby Joe. Appreciate that. Yeah, summer is hot as hell. I got to sometimes work for a living, a hapless hammer swinger. So, I got him chopped for the summer. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Hello and welcome, guys. Welcome and hello. Got my shares now. The Chia Pet's in. He's flipping the stock. Good for him. Big fat yes for me. I'm still buying. Good, Alex. Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. Colombian Kingpin. Fun times while driving to work. Good to see you once again, Colombian Kingpin. 347. Torben Bjornsson. Welcome and hello. You're a maniac. I like it. Thanks, Torben. Yeah, man, when we were on the Bering Sea together, one time, Deadliest Catch, Chris, aka Data Driven Investing, actually stabbed me, and it was my fault. I mishandled it. I mishandled the pot, put the whole crew in danger. Those are 1,200-pound pots. Can't be doing willy-nilly. I was trying to do Instagram, and I was doing a selfie. I was trying to guide the pot in with one hand. He didn't appreciate that. Just give me a little poke. Just give me a little poke right there between my ribs, a little fillet knife. No big deal. Take a little flange off the old butt cheek there. Just let you know he's there. Just let you know, maybe handle the pot with both hands. Do your Instagramming and such later. But of course, this was back in the late 1970s. Instagram was in its infancy. Very, very few people had satellite phones. Very, very few people, even fewer people had Instagram. So they didn't know what the hell we were doing. They thought I was playing with like some type of antenna, some type of microwave oven, trying to tune in a BG station out of Fairbanks or something like that. But it was nothing of the kind. I was just trying to get some content out to the turd army because I couldn't stream. Get no reception out on the Bering Sea back in the late 70s, guys. Thank you, C-Bar. I appreciate that. Trying to look a little bit more respectable like you engineers. Could never get a job as an engineer. Plus, I'm just too dumb, and I was a liberal arts major. Poli-sci econ guy. Poli-sci econ. Probably have enough credits in women's studies. I was a lifelong learner, guys. I needed like 180 units to graduate college. I had like 300. I just like taking classes, like taking philosophy classes, whatever kind of classes, history classes, endless classes. Boy, if my parents were wealthy, I would have never stopped going to college. I would have been one of those guys just sitting around like a tweed jacket, like smoking in some like Ivy League school, or not an Ivy League school, but like a rich school for dummies. Anyway, so that's neither here nor there, guys. Mr. Premium with the Option is here. Welcome and hello. Toto is here. Welcome and hello, Toto. I love your band. Joey Fatone. Why is Joey Fatone? Do I look like Joey Fatone? Oh my gosh. I don't know. That's pretty funny. Hello and welcome. Do not like and sub whatever you do. Pineapple Express. Okay, I can deal with those. Joey Fatone, Seth Rogen, not the ugliest people in the world. The real disgusting thing is that you Americans think potato chips are a side dish. Where are you from, Tiff? Yeah, I don't know. Potato chips, I think you're just supposed to eat the whole bag in some type of depression late at night or something. That's what I thought they were for. Lurkers spamming Discord. Oh, it's not spam if it's not a lurker, guys. Every single word not a lurker says is extremely important. I suggest you all take notes. Someday those will be very, very valuable. Guillermo Aranda is here. Un poco más. Indeed, Guillermo. Hola y welcome y hello. Guys, a la biblioteca, a casina. Hello, nice new backpack, Billy. He's like, who are you, son? Can I see your bus pass? Ayúdame. So Adam Sandler records were so weird. And now the severe beating of a high school bus driver. It's just like, what? What in the hell? Hello and welcome. What's up, Pete? How you doing? It's our old friend, Firehouse Pete. Straight out of NYC, but he's probably in Barbados or some far-flung tropical destination. How's it going, man? Yeah, it's been a grind, Pete. You know, I don't think it's a shit stock at all. I think the stock's held up really well. Everybody's saying it's going to go down to 5. You can't prevent smart money from shorting a stock and from fixing the price. The only thing that ultimately cures it is EPS, guys. And I think that's what management is going to deliver. Whether they can break it with S&P 500 inclusion, I don't know. But it's going to be one of those things where we all thought, the heavens were going to open, trumpets were going to sound, gold was going to fall from the sky like the salmon of San Juan Capistrano, and it just didn't happen at Gap Net Profit, and it's not going to happen. Like, they don't like this stock. The powers that be don't like the stock. They don't. Roaring Kitty ain't coming to save us. That's just the way it is. We only have each other. Do you want to stop buying short-dated calls and pissing your money away? And then talking about how you're long? And then talking about how you're selling covered calls even though you don't even know what that is? You think covered calls is a long-distance plan from the 1990s? Hi, do you want to switch to LCI? Fuck you. I get like 2 cents a minute. You get 4 cents a minute. He's going to get 2 cents a minute. For every calling card we sell, we get $25. We're all going to be rich. Oh my God. Anyway, hello and welcome, guys. Hello and welcome. Nautilurker's here. Roaring Kitty is here with his headband. You're looking sharp, Roaring Kitty. Welcome and hello and welcome. Good to see you. Steve Harvey is here. What's up, big dog? How you doing, Steve? Love your shiny head there and your little avatar. Un poco mas. Did you know that Nautilurker and Alberto are related? Yes, I did. I believe nephew, son, cousins, all of the above. Not a Lurker is my producer, and Alberto Bertiavelez is my running mate, my VP. We're writing ourselves in for President of the Universe. And we're living life in the key of awesome. So, anyway, guys, Jason Amaral, let's get it. Let's gas it. Pour gasoline. He's putting out fires with gasoline, much like Prof. And I've been putting out. How does that song go? God, I haven't heard it in too many years. Can't remember. Great song if you have a chance to look it up. Putting Out Fires with Gasoline by Prof. Anyway, Prof is a good rapper. If you guys like stupid, goofy stuff. Freddie Lafitte and his band with a beat. He's here. He's playing Mayberry 5 sold-out shows down at Floyd's Barbershop. Floyd will be coming in on tambourine. You'll have Barney there on his jug. You'll have Ange smoking some non-filtered cigarettes, strumming on his guitar, wearing some work boots that only come up just to his ankle. He don't want those boots too high. If he hikes up to play that guitar there on his knee, he wants that pant to come all the way up his calf, and he wants that white sock showing. Want to smoke that non-filtered cigarette. He don't need no gun, because he's got respect. Respect a man who smokes cigarettes out on the porch playing guitar while pining for his long-lost wife, and then Opie comes out like, Dad, what's wrong? He's like, get to bed, Ope. Okay, Dad. Night, Barn. Get to bed, Ope. Like, everybody's always telling me what to do. This is bullshit. Nothing to do in Mayberry. I'm going to run away. Anyway, hello and welcome, guys. Hello and welcome. I'm not really talking about SOFI anymore. I know what's going on. We're like up 1 point. But taking a look at the chart, guys, there was no breakdown. It just never came. We're right at the edge of this wedge and after we broke through here, just in the last little bit, this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, trying our 5th try to break through the 50-day moving average with this, coming to this wedge. It's coming to 7. So everything is coming together right here. And we just have to see if this thing will break to the upside or if it's going to keep going sideways. I don't think with the market up, and if it looks like inflation is not getting hotter and hotter, I just don't think the stock has any downside from 7, and I don't think it ever did. Remember, there has been no sellers below 7 in the last year. Look at the chart, guys. This is the last time, back on June 1st. This thing came through 7, and it's never gone back. Yes, it dipped a tiny bit through here, sideways and down, a tiny, tiny bit through here. But realistically, guys, the support at 7 has not broken. It's held. People right here just a week ago were like, just the sky is falling. Oh, it broke down to 670. Everything's over. Watch out 5. Watch out 4. Some of the, U-turd intelligentsia brain trust was talking like $3. Like, oh, my S4. Your head's up your S4. Ugh, should be driving an S10. Good little vehicle. Big, huge V6. Get terrible mileage in those little old S10s. Good little truck, though. Good looking little truck. Like those old little Chevy Blazers, too. Anyway, guys, hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. Chat is getting funny. Chat is getting goofy. Ryan Cohen is here. SOFI Sorcery on deck. We got billionaires in the house. It's Fed Jerome Powell is here. We got BZ. We got Maria, of course. Mr. Premium the Option. Everybody here. Vaco S. Love watching the streams before going to sleep. Sweet dreams, Vaco S. Thank you for watching. It's expensive enough to live in Manhattan. Yeah. I can only imagine Los Angeles is not much better. No fight, no problem. Mike Tyson was hoping to absolutely destroy that meme crypto weird guy from the internet. I forget what his name is. But that guy actually, he's... To his credit, he's actually trained very hard and improved. So, but I think the way I was seeing Tyson in training, he was fit to kill somebody. I mean, Tyson, I'd rather get locked in a burlap bag with a couple of pit bulls than try to fight Mike Tyson. That's a non-starter as sort of a, fat middle-aged white guy who does only the fat middle-aged workout, like I said, which is 6 sets of preacher curls and then a giant chicken quesadilla. Anyway, guys, hello and welcome. Thank God Alberto Bertiavelez is here. What's going down? My VP is in the house. I was about to Get Sarah Palin on the phone. Thank God Alberto's here. Liz Young is here. What's going on? Welcome and hello. All the celebrities are here. They're all going to laugh. They're all going to laugh at you. Oh, Mom, why would they do that? They're all going to laugh at you. Like, and I'm going to the dance a little later with Billy. Oh, no, they're all going to laugh at you. So random. Bloody buddy. Like, David Spade is in there just peeing for an extended period of time. You know, Kevin Nealon, he's just, and now the severe beating of a high school janitor. Like, just the whole thing was just so odd. Yet, I just had to listen to it a few times. Looking like a hipster analyst, real released on vinyl. Yeah, about as anti-hipster as it gets. What the hell happened to my water? I think he's more Dahmer. I think he's more Thin Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys, but that's just me. My God, Jeff, we need the tech platform to take off. You're damn right, Chris. That's exactly what we need. Offered Tanner to the GME Shark Tank, blocking everyone. The Oprah blocking. Noto's here. Anthony Noto is Danny Deal's father. Maury said it. Anthony Noto, you are the father. He's like, Anthony, where'd you go? Up. Ran out the back door, got into the SOFI helicopter, and fled the jurisdiction. He does not want to pay almost 50 years of back child support. And he knows I'm an eater. He knows I was not cheap to raise. He saw me. He saw me at the free continental breakfast. He's like, listen, that fat bastard just ate 5 croissants and 4 free yogurts. I am not paying his mother for the last 47 years of his food consumption. I mean, he's been an adult for 30 years. How can this possibly be happening? Maury, help me here, Maury. He's like, Anthony Noto, you owe this fat guy. He's like, this is a totally different format. Anyway, hello and welcome. Anthony Noto's here, right on cue. I got served. Chad Borton left. He's still fighting the case. Really hope saving cash care puts around 7. Savage of Wall Street is here. It must be covered calls. Whenever you say covered calls and click your heels together 3 times, Biggie Smalls smiles down at you from Gangster Heaven, and Savage of Wall Street makes some premium off one you idiots selling covered calls. Let's see. Savage is here. Nala. We got Lisa. Hi, Lisa. How you doing? We got Bert Burdenston. Good evening, Bert Berenston. You got to rule a little bit of a hard name there. There's a lot of sounds going on. You got to sound that one out. Berenston. Bert Berenson. It's a guy. This is my buddy, Bert Berenson. Sounds like you made that name up. It's like, I may have. It's YouTube. Sounds like a name, it's like, hey, this is my buddy. It's like Saturday Night Live skit. This is my buddy, Bert Brenson. Like, Bert Brenson? This is my buddy, Champ Kind. You're like, I'm just the kind of guy who likes to have a few cocktails and let things go where they may. What's going on, guys? Lisa is here. Toll Booth Willie. Toll Booth Willie. Oh my God, I forgot about Toll Booth Willie. What about the guy, what was the guy who like burned the packages at FedEx? He's like, I think that might have been Crank Yankers. Like, yeah, he's lighting them on fire. Where's the wrench? Savage, no wrench for you. You're cleaning us out, selling covered calls. Where's the poor man Seth Rogen? Definitely poor man Seth Rogen. SoFi has not been delisted yet. Savage, you wouldn't be selling covered calls and making all that sweet premium had it been. Let me go over my notes very, very quickly and get the hell out of here. We already read this one on Twitter, but the synergies. SoFi is a meme stock, a SPAC, and a real company executing a real plan. A fintech, a chartered neobank, and a tech company. I would say that's unique. Management. You have an old veteran warhorse in Anthony Noto, a guy who's the insider's insider. The guys the smart money go to when they need advice. That's the kind of multi-decade insider that Anthony Noto is. But then you have this vibrant young company with cutting-edge thinking, planning for the future, vertical integration, sacrificing the present for the future. Not as much little, smaller gains now for much larger gains if you have a long time horizon. It's a bank with, I don't know, I just made this up. It sounded kind of dumb. This is like Tevis level corporate speak. It's a bank with values trying to give customers a better deal because they know it ultimately keeps them on the wheel, which will reduce our customer acquisition costs It'll increase our margins, especially those incremental margins. That's what SoFi is all about. As we add more customers and more revenues, we add very, very little new costs to the model. So, you know, it's all about growing and it's all about reaping those rewards. And we're already into that gap net profit. So we're already into that phase. Some of the questions I keep hearing, going down to this part in blue, strong fundamentals, growth, profit, pipeline. And this was basically what Chris is saying in different words: emotional turd, passionate returder army, ready to march and kick ass and take names, significant persistent short. And also what he didn't mention was that increasing institutional ownership. So why isn't tech on SoFi app product offerings rolling out faster? Do product launches really equal innovation? I argued that integration has been innovation. The integration of Technesis, Galileo, ironing all that out, incorporating everything into SoFi. Very, very impressive to accomplish that this quickly. And then I believe after they did all that, Galileo really focused on these external clients, these proof of concepts, and I think there might be multiples going on. Is a gold card or a dynamic app interface important? Is it what you should spend money on? Is that what SoFi customers care about? Robinhood customers obviously do. I think SoFi customers are very different. I don't think they want to be on the app all day. I don't think they want to be customizing the app. I think they just want it there and it works. SoFi is trying to do what members want, to be their core forever home for their financial lives. Banking, lending, student, home, auto, business, line of credit, business banking. It's coming, guys. Watch for it. It's coming sooner than you think. Invest, IPO, private equity, unique offerings, insurance, travel, dining. I'm looking for SoFi to become a lifestyle company. People with money want to be with SoFi. They get a better deal. They earn more interest. It's easier. You get big discounts on travel. You get big discounts on dining. Shoot for up-and-coming wealthy turds. It's important. Zelle, business banking, lending. I don't think options are as important to the SoFi customer, but I really also want to see options get done. We need a roadmap for these new features. We need to say, how is Galileo saving us money? Give us some specifics. Because I know he said, okay, Galileo is going to save, 80 to 100 million every year, but sort of reiterate that Galileo was very important. It's central to SoFi's business model. It was a good decision to go ahead and try to build this one-stop AWS of, fintech and try to be extremely bold, extremely ambitious. And with everything SoFi and Noto set out to do, the fact that they're delivering as well as they are, I think is just really extraordinary. And I'm frankly impressed. I'm bullish the company. I like the stock. I like the company. And that's just where I'm at, guys. Let me get you a check of the live short interest just for fun. Okay, so today they are returning about 1 million shares. So again, you see the short slowly letting go. You see that in the ratios, and you see the institutions coming in. Somebody was going on about how CalPERS sold a few shares. Like, they had around 1 million shares. They sold 30,000 shares, like 3% of their position. That's not a pension fund trying to get out of the stock. It's just like a simple rebalancing transaction, something like that, reallocation. But that's not, to me, selling 2-3% of your shares does not indicate a big problem whatsoever. And I noticed Texas retirement system, South Carolina retirement system, others were actually buying SoFi. So I think absolutely nothing to worry about there. It's just a random piece of FUD that I heard online, so I thought I'd address it. Let's see. Not a lurker. Take over Janny's chat again. Don't make me release Albertos. Do not sub and like whatever you do. Bert Bernston. Hello and welcome, Bert Bernston. Anyway, guys, that's really about all I had for you today. I don't really know what I was intending to talk about. Don't know what I did talk about, but just very low volume. They really put the brakes on the stock. 17 million shares traded on the day, with some shares being returned. The stock is naturally going to go up because no retail investors are selling at 7. Institutions aren't selling at 7. Institutions are buying in. So, with the options lining up the way they do, with nothing pushing it below 7, the stock goes up. The natural order of things is this stock is worth, $12, and it would go up to that level if mechanics weren't holding it down. And eventually it's going to happen, guys. Fundamentals will win the day. Okay? I mean, initially the market can be a popularity contest, but eventually It's a pickle measuring contest. And you measure the earnings, and the stock will be valued according to that. And as a company matures, that's just the way it goes. But you have to value the growth. I mean, looking at the sales multiples, again, I don't mean to hype on it, but like Hood, Palantir, I think SoFi deserves similar multiples. It's not as exciting. It's not as sexy. It doesn't have buzzwords. They don't have big, exciting events like Apple, where you come out with long hair and fancy shoes and tell everybody, this is flashy. Look over here. Like, don't look at the fact that our business is built on quicksand. It's built on crypto. It's built on credit cards. It's built on paying people a bunch of money to use those credit cards. This doesn't really explain how do you make money. Payment for order flow, exploiting people's data, and I believe using it against them as retarders. I don't know if that's a sustainable business model. I think the government could come in and crush a lot of these companies, not just Hood, but I think SoFi made an extremely intelligent decision over the long term to get that bank charter and get out of the crypto business. That's just my opinion. But feel free to disagree and think whatever you want, guys. It's un poco mas. We are crushing your head between our fingers, giving you just a little bit more. It's Danny Deals for Not a Lurker. J Money, thank you for producing the show. For Alberto Bertiavales, thank you for wielding the wrench with discretion and I don't know, how do you wield the wrench? Violently, menacingly. Keeping everybody in line. Guys, thank you very much for joining me. SoFi pushing up on the day. NASDAQ green, Dow green, S&P green, Russell green. Everything's green. It's Kermit the Frog day. But in terms of the volume, very, very weak. Not a lot of big orders coming in. Remember, guys, the stock often pushes up in Monday. Max Pain is still 7. They might kill the stock the rest of the week. There's no excitement. Savage of Wall Street might bank again. That's just the way this life works. Savage of Wall Street is cashing checks, and we are sort of just, treading water. But anyway, guys, hello and welcome. Guillermo disliked. That's okay. What's the move? I'm holding my shares, Guillermo. I was just accumulating some shares with Nodo down in the 6s, and I think the stock's worth 12 and 13. I think, I think the shorts are going to let go as the company continues to execute, continues to make money, continues to move toward those 2027 80 cents of EPS. I think the company is just dramatically undervalued. So I intend to accumulate and hold sell covered calls, continue to accumulate leaps for early 2026 and just, put my faith in management until they give me a reason not to. Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you watching. It's Un Poco Mas, Danny Deals, Hurricane Lopez, blah, blah, blah. Peace. I'm out.